So the energy this morning is someone has not gotten over you. Someone has definitely not gotten over you. They really thought that you were gonna stick around, like you were not going anywhere at all. And I'm feeling like they weren't treating you right, but they were doing it consistently for an extended period of time. So then they was just thinking, "Oh, I could do this. I could run this. I could run him. I can run her." But that's not true. That's a lie. I heard a lie from the deepest, darkest places. That's not the truth. And eventually, I'm feeling you told him the truth, or you gave him the truth. I think that's a better way to phrase it. Hey, so family, I am Mystic Alchemy. For those who don't know me, thank you for being here. Yeah, so I feel like someone thought that they could just play you for the rest of their life, the rest of their lives, the rest of their days. I almost said lives and days at the same time. That's why it kind of came out like that. Sometimes I'll say something and I'm thinking something else. So, yeah. But they really thought that they had you in a place where you can be their toy. Like you could be the person that they could just test and see how they could work this thing. Like, what can I do to this person and they just gonna let me do it? Like, they just gonna let me just do this. And eventually you may have kind of like dealt with it for a little while, just because you may kind of like the person, and then you liked them until you didn't like them anymore, and they slept on you. I just heard they slept on you. They slept and got snuck. Oh, I think I gotta put that in a title. Let me write it before I forget. So I just heard they got hit with a double whammy. What did you say to them? What did you do, Honey Rose? You gave them a smackdown? They got the energetic smackdown. Every word you said was like, ooh, that hurt. Ooh, that hurt. Everything you said was sharp. Ow, that hurt, ow. That's how they felt. You gave them the smackdown. And I don't feel like it was, I said, okay, I'm saying, hold on, I'm sorry, my thoughts do that. I'm hearing it was easy. It was easy for you to give them the smackdown because you was tired and you had some things to say and it just started coming out like rat-tat-tat-tat, rat-tat-tat-tat. It didn't take that long, for you to get your thoughts out in that moment. I feel like your words were very eloquent. Spirit says your words were eloquent. They did you wrong and they sacrificed themselves. I just heard. They sacrificed their own sanity because they thought that you were what you're not. When they were sleeping, now they woke up. And they wish they were still sleeping. They want to stay asleep. Because when they're awake, then they really take in the truth just a little more. Because they're alert and aware. And when their awareness turns on off the strength of you, it hurts. But their pain is because of their own doing. They could try to point the finger at you all they want. But they know it's not you. They know it's because of what they do, how they move, how they speak, how they try to accuse you of things that are not on a regular basis now. Not just like something they was trying for one moment. No, this is continuous. It's a continuous cycle of not owning up to their wrongs, but always saying that they're right. Not owning up to their wrongs and always thinking that they're right. Swapping spaces, trading places with you, knowing that they've done what they say you do. The tricks of the trade. I just heard the tricks of the trade. That's definitely the tricks of the trade. Because they're trading their energy for yours and trying to act as if their energy is yours. No, 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 honey. No, no, no. You gotta tell them that. No, 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 honey. Because I see you. They could think you don't see them for as long as they want to. They could think that for as long as they want to. But they know it's not true. It's just them lying to themselves so that they can lie to the world. Lie to you, lie to themselves, lie to the world. So in that way they don't have to take ownership. I heard of the fuckery. They don't have to take ownership of their fuckery. Because they know it's heavy. They know it's too much to carry. They know it's not right. But that's what they want to do. They love to live that way so they don't have to look at themselves. Yeah, that's right. They love to point fingers because they don't want to look at themselves. This is someone that's too weak to do the work on themselves. They don't want to. Not yet, at least. So when you see it, it's like, okay, if that's what you choose, it's all right. Everyone has their day, and that's okay. Everyone has their day. I heard no skin off your back. Because you got it like that. That's what I heard. You got it like that. But I almost said pero. I do feel like I don't even speak Spanish like that, and I don't know. That's crazy how pero came out. I was about to say but in Spanish. You know I love Spanish music though. Oh my goodness. Ever since I was a little girl, that music come on, I want to move. And be in a bodega like, hey, I like that. I think in a past life, one of them, I was of Latin descent, possibly. Because I like that music too much, I don't know. This is a side note. When I was in elementary school, when I was in grade school, my Spanish teacher, her name was Mrs. Maldonado. And there was me and another student, one of my peers, and his name was Michael. But some of our classes were different. We would be in two different classes. And one time, we had some type of festival, and me and him started dancing together. We was dancing salsa. And she fell in love. And she was just clapping, and she wanted everybody to look. She's like, oh my gosh, they dancing, and they doing it right. And ever since then, anytime she would teach her class about dancing, she would literally pull me and him out of class. Even if we were in a test. And I found that strange because the teachers would always let her. I don't know if she was that cool. She had it like that. Because there's plenty of times where we were taking tests and she would pull us out of the class to go dance. And give us flan. But I never was too fond of that. I don't want my cake to be wet. But nothing against people who like that, the wet cake. But that's just not my thing. But she did offer it, and there was other things, you know. But that's just a side note. She literally took us out the class to present the moves to her class to help them learn how to dance salsa. I thought that was just, now that I think about it as an adult, it's so funny and cute because she was so enamored and she has so much love for her culture, and she just was like, wow. You know, I don't know. That's a side note. But anyway, back to these messages. I'm hearing our ancestors don't just have to be of our descent as well. So don't be closed-minded like that and think that spirits that contact you are always going to be of your descent. Like, you know, because an ancestor is just someone who has passed on. Anyone can really be an ancestor if they have a message for you. So for those who think that you are bound to this right here, don't think that that's really small. It's a small way to think. Because even for me, I've been contacted by very different people from different places, different spirits from different places. So don't shrink yourself like that. Because if you just feel like, oh no, I'm this, so I'm connected to that, it's not conducive to your growth if you're thinking that way, because you're minimizing yourself, you're shrinking yourself. You can learn from anyone, anywhere, from any time zone. And you only decrease your power when you think like that. So don't do that. Just for someone who thinks that way, like, oh, I don't rock with that because that's not, I don't know nothing about that. But if you're contacted or if you are pulled in a certain direction, it's for a reason. So take heed to those inclinations and intuitive nudges, okay? That's a part of where your power is. So don't neglect your power. Don't set it aside because of bias that are not even yours. Think about that. I hope it didn't go over your head. I hope you got what I mean. You know, because think about the fact that everything that we've been taught, and we didn't have a choice. So, and then think about the things that you have taught. Has everything been right? Definitely not. So this goes along with unraveling what you know and allow yourself to have a clean slate to learn what you choose to learn and not what you've been forced to learn, okay? Side note, back to these messages again. That was 2 side notes back to back, but okay. Let me get back to where we was at, all right? Okay, so I'm getting an energy now that I heard this person has not been able to dry their eyes. So they can act tough and act like you not being around doesn't bother them. However, it does, because I feel as though many of you are in contact with this person. So when they think of you, it hits them below the belt. It does make them feel some type of way, but they would never show you that or tell you that. Some may show you and tell you. Those are the really clingy ones, the ones that are really clingy and show it, because some people show their clinginess and show their desire to be with you even if you don't want to be with them. But then you have the macho tough ones. It's like, yeah, I'm alright. And then when you don't see them, they be like, me. They be crying over you. So it depends on, I don't know which one is yours, your person from the past, but you either have a crybaby or a tough macho. And that's for masculine or feminine energies, because both masculine and feminines can act that way. Like, I'm good, I'm alright. But then they be like, me. You know, so it really just depends on how your person's behavior is. You would know where they fall when it comes to their reaction to not being with you. You would know. It's not hard to tell. It's like as clear as day. Or they could be in a category where they simply really don't care much because their soul is gone. So it's one of the three. Okay, so what else I'm hearing here? It was only a matter of time until you realized, until you realized the games that they were playing. It was just like really feeling like they had you. And sometimes people, well, many times, people gain they gain a lot of, they feel like it's power from controlling someone else. They feel like a sense of power, but it's not even real, you know? Because if you have to siphon energy from someone else for your power, then you are weak, because when nobody's around, you're going to be powerless. Your power just going to be depleted, gone. Nada. No bueno. Okay? No bueno. But that's not you, though. You know where to get your power from because you're connected. You're connected to the creator. You're connected to source energy. When you're connected to that source energy, your abilities are infinite. That's the truth. You want to be connected to infinite power. Not have to look for someone who you feel is powerful and siphon from them. That's too much work. That just correlated with people that live in remote areas and they still hunt. Like people in tribes around the world. And they still hunt for their prey, for their food. And many tribes are nomads and they will travel miles because eventually wherever they are, they can't find any food. So they have to keep moving so that they can survive. They're nomads. I remember the first time I learned about nomads in school, I found that very interesting to always be on the move. And now I'm getting military brat for those that have a parent in the military and they keep having to move with them so they can never have a strong connection with anyone really, because I mean they could try through long distance contact once they move again, but that could be very challenging just because it's so much easier to hold on to a bond if you're around the person. Not saying it's not possible to have long distance relationships and friendships and such. It's just a little more challenging because you're not really around the person like that. And when life happens, it's easy to drift away, not unless the connection is very strong. Okay, so someone could be a military brat and know what that's like, or you could have had a friend that was a military brat and you miss them. Because I don't know if you guys have ever heard that terminology, military brat, but that's just a child that is that has a parent that is in the military, so they have to move often wherever their parent is stationed for their work. That's where they have to go no matter what, you know. So they'll be in one place for a little while and go to school and make friends, and then they'll have to leave again. And it's like there's not much stability in that. I mean, it's good when the child has love, but it's kind of challenging when someone that moves a lot wants to have relationships or build relationships. And maybe some of you weren't military brats, or maybe it was just that you just moved a lot. Maybe you felt in that type of energy because you moved a lot. Things kept happening, so you moved, and so you may feel like that's a part of the reason why you may not talk to too many people, just because you didn't really get a chance to bond for long enough to be able to hold on to those relationships. For some of you, things kept changing so much that you couldn't do that. For some of you, that's what I'm getting, okay? But this person, back to these messages, because that was a bunch of side notes that just popped out. But I have to, when Spirit gives me something, I just have to share it with you. It comes out for a reason. What they expected from you, you did not give. That's why, that's another reason why people should stop putting labels and impressions. I heard impressions on people. Because they sell themselves short, and then they end up looking crazy when they realize that who they thought you were is not even right. And then they end up feeling played, but they played themselves. And then they want to go run and hide. It's like, just come out. It's already done. Everybody knows. Just come out. You might as well. Just come out. Show your face and try to get it right this time. Get it right. Just get it right this time. You know, no harm, no foul, but don't go hiding. That's crazy. You gotta live. I'm hearing there are still people that want to see their face, even though there's many that don't. But to not snap back from the ways of life that you learned from falsehoods in your environment, that's a forfeit. That's a forfeit, like a complete forfeit. Like, okay, you're not even going to try to get it right? Okay. So that's, it's like you want to say, that's your life, not mine. That's like a ex that really played themselves, and instead of trying to become a better version of themselves, they just continue living, doing the same thing and repeating the same mistakes on repeat. And not really taking heed to the fact that what they were doing was wrong, and taking heed to the fact that they're a wrecking ball, and not for good reasons. They literally walk around and build relationships to destroy people. It's not to be a tower and change people for the better so that they can see themselves. It's the other type of wrecking ball, the one that just destroys. They just come through and wreck, but not for good reason. Now, when you wrecking it, when you wreck-ish, you know, and you come through and you change things for the better, that's a power punch. Those are things that's what's needed here, because it's for the good, it's for the greater good. But it's not just trying to destroy people, because what is that? What's the sense in that? At least if you have a purpose and you know that the reason why you're coming through as a wrecking ball to help elevate consciousness, that's one thing. But if you're trying to manipulate consciousness for your own advantage, to siphon energy, I heard you become weaker than the bunch. A weak vessel. One that is easily taken, snatched, and used for lower level purposes. I just heard. So yeah, that's what I'm getting with this message. Let me get a charm or two. I don't know why I want to put them in my hand and shake them. I never want to do that, but for some reason right now I do. Whoa. Oh, that's too many, y'all. Come on. One of them went far. I don't know where it went though. I have a starfish. Starfish is, I believe I've heard that if you cut them up or cut one leg off, it'll grow back. Regeneration. It's giving regeneration. See, there's many people, including this person that we're talking about in this reading, they refuse to regenerate. They refuse to rebuild themselves. They just want to be like, oh, yeah, I did it, but I'm just going to act like it never happened. And I'm going to keep destroying people because it makes them feel good, because they're weak. They got weak bones. They've got weak bones, so they don't want to regenerate. Meanwhile, all you do is regenerate. I almost said regenerate. All you do is regenerate. And then I have this one here. It's a white lollipop. And the spiral is in here. The ancient spiral that I talk about sometimes is the way of life. It is a representation that everything is always changing, and to accept it and appreciate it, because it is growth, it is love, it is the love of life and the respect of spirit, the circle of life. Many things in this realm are connected to the spiral. And it just really brings you back to oneness and feeling confident in your wholeness as well as change. So you are someone who regenerates when change comes. You allow yourself to go through a rebirth, and you rise like the phoenix every time. Meanwhile, this person, I heard, they'll lose parts of themselves and they won't work on regenerating them. So the more that they try to wreck others, they really wreck themselves. And that's how I'm going to end this reading. Okay, so I hope this message does get to who needs to hear it at the right time. And if you would like to book a one-on-one coaching call with me, you can. I'm going to put the link up there to my website so that you can go ahead to that website and move forward there. Everything you do, do it with love. Always remember that God is in you and the magic is too, because you are magic. Much love to you. I'll see you in the next video.